Okay, I'm gonna take my headphones off for this, so if I'm screaming, I'm sorry. I can't hear myself. Oh, anyway. Welcome back. Hey everyone, welcome back to Your Thoughts First. For any new listeners here, this is a mental health podcast. This is all about sharing and hearing and learning about different experiences and people and more or less how we all relate to one another. I started this podcast last May and, kind of sharing this simple message that people are not people without other people. I really wanted to add something to society and kind of showcase more of our similarities rather than our differences. I think we live in a very in-your-face kind of world, I guess, if that makes sense. Like social media, we always want attention and we always want to be doing something or be seen or heard. And oftentimes we have this I'm right mentality. And instead we neglect hearing and listening to others and actually gaining and trying to see what we have in common with one another. So for any new listeners of this podcast, thank you for being here. This is the first episode back in many, many months. When I started this podcast, I really wanted to make sure that I was putting out quality content and not just putting out content just to put out content. And when I started it, I was able to balance it and kind of edit and put out episodes each week like I wanted to. And then as time went on, I got hit with work, finishing school, and the time just got away from me, and I wanted to get back into making more episodes, but I just really wanted to make sure that I was putting out quality episodes. And I knew that whenever I finally did get back to making more podcast episodes, they would be ready, but I didn't want to rush it. And I want to make sure that all the guests that I interviewed and will interview, I'm making sure I'm able to showcase them in the way that I see them. And to do that requires time and a lot more effort and energy than I had in the past couple of months. But I'm back, and it's a new year, and I really want to bring back the podcast, and I have a new episode coming out also today too after this, so stay tuned for that. But today I just wanted to talk about why you should care about mental health, or your mental health, I guess I should say. I'm thinking about it, New Year's resolutions, and, every year people sign up for gym memberships to better their physical health. As of last year, the gym and fitness industry was worth $87 billion, and worldwide, there's over 200,000 gyms. That's a lot of sweaty people, if you ask me. And I think we oftentimes put a greater emphasis on our physical health because that's what people see. I think, we want to look good, we want to feel good, and being healthy and going to the gym, that gets you those results. But, at the end of the day, if you can't sit with your own thoughts and yourself and figure out what's going on inside your head, well then, it doesn't really matter how much you can lift because you still have other issues that people just can't see. So I'm thinking, why not invest in our mental health like we do our physical health? Just like going to the gym, though, you have to walk before you can run. You can't just wake up one day and start going to the gym and think you're going to squat like 500 pounds. Like, that's just not realistic. I saw some guy try to do that last Tuesday and he broke his leg in half. It was terrifying. Bone was this way. It was really, ugh. The same is true with your mental health. No matter what has happened to you personally or what you may be dealing with presently, you can't expect to wake up one day and be fixed. You can't wake up and just expect your mind to not have any anxieties or problems with the day. It's just not a realistic expectation. So like the gym, it takes work and consistency. And the best way to start changing the way your mind thinks is to notice your thoughts to begin with. Noticing what you're thinking, noticing what thoughts or things maybe triggering these certain thoughts, and that's all you need to do for the first step, is just noticing that you're having these thoughts, noticing that these are things, these are objectively things, these are thoughts, these aren't real. They're things that are going on inside of your head that your subconscious has created based on your past experiences, what you may be seeing, or what you may be feeling or smelling. All your senses come into what then your mind then conjugates. And so, we often just like let our thoughts like play in our head. And what start out as like just a single thought, that something may have brought up becomes this nonstop cycle of then negative thoughts. It's just like watching a TV show, we start by watching one episode, and before you know it, we've watched the entire series of Golden Girls. R.I.P. Betty White. I really miss her. Didn't know her personally, but, I heard she was a great gal. I'm lying. I haven't watched the Golden Girls. I don't even know is that available on anywhere? I don't know. Let me know. If the Golden Girls are available on any platform, let me know. I will watch it. I heard it's a great show, but it also came out 50, 70 years ago. Betty White was like 90, 99. She was that was sad. I will say that. All jokes aside, I thought that was sad because she was about a month away from turning 100. But, it was time. Things happen for a reason, and it's sad. But back to my point. That was a long-winded thing about Betty White. Didn't know I was going to go on that, but anyway, back to our thoughts. If we start to notice when our mind does this, we can practice kind of catching ourselves before we start having these cycle of negative thoughts. And again, just like going to the gym, this takes practice. You can't just catch yourself one day and be like, oh, and once you start noticing and doing this, you realize how many times you have thoughts a day. And for me personally, I have a lot of thoughts, and they come and go, and it all depends on what I'm doing. It could be, this, that, the other thing, but it takes work to notice, and takes consistency and practice to kind of get yourself in the habit of noticing, one, your thoughts, but then two, why am I thinking this? Like, what's causing this? What is allowing me, or causing me, I guess I should say, to think about this, I think it's a good practice to allowing yourself to notice that your thoughts don't necessarily reflect exactly what your reality is. I think oftentimes we have these thoughts and it has nothing to do with what we're going on or what has even happened or what will happen. But we let our mind tell us that this is true. But when you think about it, if you're the one who's thinking it, like let's say you have a fake conversation with a friend or something like that, or your parents, you had an argument with your parents, and you know exactly what they're thinking, or at least you think you do. If you're the one who's saying this, but also the one hearing it, who's actually hearing it? You know what I mean? Like it's not a real thing. It's because you are the one who's saying and hearing it. It's like talking to yourself, but not out loud. It's just in your head. And when you look at it more like that, you start to realize that, wow, that's not really real or important. It's just a thought that I had. So getting in the habit of this is really important because I think it starts to get you in the habit of just noticing more about yourself and figuring out things about you that you may not have even have noticed before. And that's a big step, I think, to improving your mental health, is like noticing things about yourself and why you do them. Plain and simple as that. Another thing that you can start doing that I think is really important to helping you change certain behaviors or routines that you may want to adjust in this new coming year, and that is small promises. Another common problem that people have when they're working on their mental health is doing too much too fast. Like working out, to get into shape, you need to exercise every part of your body, but you can't exercise every body part when you go into the gym. That'd be like a 3-hour workout, and that's just, unless you're in Hollywood and like that you're getting paid to do it, you have no time. I don't have time. I don't know anyone who has 3.5 hours each day to go to the gym. Like, that's impossible. So what you can do instead is work out, go to the gym every day, take your time, be consistent, and then over time, your strength will improve. A small promise for your mental health is the exact same. A small habit or behavior that you can stick to so that over time you can improve or change the behavior that you want to. Some good examples that I think are very simple and easy to get started to, that you could start tomorrow if you wanted to, that would count as small premises, are drink a glass of water every day. Just one glass, not 8 or whatever the recommended amount is, but just drink a glass of water. If you've never drank water, if you're not used to drinking water, you're not going to drink 8 glasses of water a day. That's just not realistic. If you want to wake up earlier, if you want to become a morning person and you're used to waking up at 10 o'clock or 11. You're not going to wake up every day. If I decide tomorrow I want to, you know what, I want to be a morning person, I'm going to start waking up at 6 a.m. That's just not, it's not a sustainable habit, that abrupt change. You could do it, you could get coffee, but eventually your body's going to catch up with you and realize that, nope, I need my sleep. So instead, maybe doing something like wake up 10 minutes earlier than you did today. Something small, but you're improving. So then slowly over time, you're waking up earlier and earlier. Reading is another great thing, but saying that I'm going to read a whole book a week or a whole book a month, I don't think is very, sure, it's doable if you're a fast reader, but if you're someone like me who just learned how to read, that's not really practical. So, something that I've been doing personally is been reading like a chapter a day or 5 pages a day, depending on the book. I'm currently reading The Untethered Soul, and there's 19 chapters in there, and I'm on 17, so I try to do a chapter a day. So in a couple days, I'll be done with that book, and then I'll move on to the next one. But I've noticed that even though, like, I don't consider myself a reader, I'm reading every day. And as the days have progressed, I've seen a big change in myself, and I feel weird if I don't read now. And even some days I might just read a couple pages, and that's okay. I think it's important. The most important part of these small promises is celebrating when you keep them to yourself, It's almost like enjoying that piece of cheesecake after working out 6 days a week. It's you have to be generous with yourself, because otherwise your body's not gonna work with that change. It's gonna resist, and it's better to be kind and gentle with yourself, especially if you're trying to make a change in your normal routine, because we're habitual creatures, us humans, and we hate change. Our mind hates change, because if we've done something a certain way for an extended amount of period of time, and we switch, we suddenly do something, your mind's like, whoa, wait, what are you doing? Like, chill out, bro. And you have to be kind, and you have to be patient with yourself. So those are really the only 2 things I really want to talk about today. It's really all you need to get started to work on your mental health. Keep it simple and stay consistent. Notice your thoughts. Ask yourself why you may be thinking it or what's causing these thoughts. And then make small promises to yourself to change or improve current behavior that you may have. Mental health is something that's very important to me, and I think ever since I started this podcast, I'm really glad to see more people and other people on social media and different platforms start to talk more openly about mental health and issues, personal experiences, than we once did when I was, growing up or younger, a couple years ago even. I think that's so important. We get so caught up in life, I think we often forget to check in on ourselves. We're always checking on other people, worried about what other people are doing, and we don't really stop to think about, hey, when was the last time someone asked me how I was doing? Or when did I ask myself that? Not someone else. When did I ask myself that? What do I need? What do I need today? That could be the simplest question you could ask yourself. What do I need to do today for myself? Because at the end of the day, your mental health is to benefit you so that you can live a fulfilling, happy, and loving life. So you can connect with more people. You can feel good about the things you do and proud of the work that you've accomplished. We all have our own issues and experiences, and we often let our thoughts run out of control and run our lives. And I don't think that's a good mindset to have. And I think it takes effort. It takes first the conscious awareness, just like saying, hey, I'm not in good shape. I want to go to the gym. I think it's the same mindset as saying, hey, I've been feeling sad. I don't want to feel sad anymore. Let me do something about it. You have to make the choice to work on it. I really want to continue this podcast. Really hope people learn to be an active participant in their own life, because that takes work. While I'm talking about some tips and stuff you can do to get started, it's going to take time. No matter if you started in the pandemic, when it first started, or last month, or even today, or this week, or whenever you're hearing this episode, everyone has their own journey, but we all have similarities too that I think we can relate to. And I think it's just so important to remember that whoever you are, you're not alone on this journey of improving yourself, of dealing with your mental health. There's people out there that want to help. People are not people without other people. So please don't forget that. We all live together on this one big magic rock floating in space. I wouldn't call it magic. Well, I don't know. I'd say it's something. We're just floating in space, So, I don't know. Be kinder on yourself, and just know that there's people out there who want to see you succeed. There's people out there who want to make sure that you're okay. And the world's a big place, and we're all just trying to make it and do the best that we can. So I hope that this year you consider making yourself a priority in your own life, and then worry about the rest. That's all. I think that's all you can do, Take it day by day, moment by moment, and before you know it, you'll be able to live more presently and more honestly and more authentically too. That's all I had for this episode. Like I said, I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be talking again, in front of you guys. And for anyone who's been here since the beginning, since I started this podcast, thank you for being here. It means the world to me to know that, even if it's just a couple people, even my close friends, to know that, say like, hey, that made me feel better. That means the world to me. And I want to make sure that, I keep doing this and are able to, hopefully impact people in some way, in a positive way. I think we have a lot of work to do as a society, and I'd rather add beneficial content to the internet than more negative stuff. And I hope that moving forward this year, I continue to grow and this community continues to grow. And thank you all for being here. New episodes every other Thursday. There's a new episode out now with my friend Alex Larson. I really hope you guys like it. And yeah, it's a great day to have a great day. For you guys who know me, that's my thing. But anyway, guys, have a great day. I hope you guys are doing well wherever you may be, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Later.